Good morning, student. This is the lecture number 15 of material science. In the up to previous lecture, we have completed our 2 unit. First unit, that is introduction of the material science. In second unit, we have studied introduction of the ion carbon equilibrium diagram. In first unit, we have completed or we have studied the different topic such as uh, the definition of a crystal lattice, Bravais lattice, what is unit cell, okay, coordination number, atomic packing factor, classification of engineering material, factors affecting the selection of engineering material, then lever rule, then plotting of the equilibrium diagram, types of cooling curve, that all the different topics we have studied in case of the first unit. In second unit, we have studied ion carbon equilibrium diagram. With the help of ion carbon equilibrium diagram, we have studied uh, the alpha ferrite, delta ferrite, austenite, cementite, ladyborite, then pearlite. These different phases, their occurrence and percentage of carbon and temperature we have already studied. Next, we have studied the different invariant reaction, that is peritectic reaction, eutectoid reaction, eutectic reaction we have studied. Then different critical temperature occurring on the ion carbon equilibrium diagram that we have already studied. Next, we have studied how the particular steel containing a certain amount of carbon which is cool from higher temperature to room temperature, what are the different phases occur uh, during that cooling, that we have studied very well. Then microstructure, the phases occurrence of the different phases, amount of different phases, that we have already calculated with the help of lever rule. Now till now we have completed first and second unit, and today we are going to start the fifth unit. The reason behind starting of the fifth unit is that whatever the part we will have to study in third unit and fourth unit, that is depending somewhat depending upon the fifth unit, that is heat treatment processes. Okay, means for the alloy steel as well as cast iron, for the requirement or desired to obtain the desired properties, there will be a heat treatment process must be performed on the alloy steel as well as cast iron. That's why whatever the heat treatment process is in our syllabus, that we will study first, and then we will move toward the third unit and fourth unit. Okay, so in the fifth unit we will have to study the heat treatment processes, but first we will have to understood what is heat treatment process. Okay, here some schematic or a layout showing the definition of the heat treatment process. Now in the definition of the heat treatment process, an operation or a combination of operation means what, in that heat treatment there is a single operation is to be performed or a combination of operations involving now in that operations what we are going to perform actually, that is heating or cooling of a metal or alloy in a solid state to obtain the desirable. Now what we are doing, we are performing operation, single operation or a combination of operation. Now what we are performing in that operation, we are performing heating or cooling of a metal or alloy, in which state, in a only solid state. Okay, to obtain, now whatever the process or whatever the things we are doing for obtaining the desirable condition and desirable properties, means what, whatever the process we are performing on the solid, that is metal or alloy, that is only for obtaining the condition means what are the different conditions, the relieve the stresses, improve the whatever the stresses developed during the different metalworking processes. You have studied the different metalworking processes in case of the manufacturing process 1, that is in the third unit, metal forming processes. In metal forming processes there are some hot working process, some cold working processes are there. During that hot working or cold working process or any other metal working processes, what will happen, there are some stresses develop in the steel or in the material. That stresses must be removed, otherwise there will be a chances of failure of that component or failure of that metal will be takes place in actual working process. Suppose we take the example of some connecting rod. That connecting rod is used in the internal combustion engine. Okay, now in internal combustion engine, the function of the connecting rod is to convert the reciprocatory motion of the piston, that is up and down motion, that is reciprocatory motion of the piston, into rotary motion of the cam. Okay, through that connecting rod, whatever the work done takes place or done by the piston, that will be transferred to the cam in the rotary form. Okay, and by that work we can move our bike in the or drive our bike. Okay, so in that case, suppose we have manufactured the connecting rod by using certain process, and in that case there will be some stresses will remain in that connecting rod. In that case, what will happen, the different forces will act on that connecting rod while actual working of the connecting rod, and in that case there will be because of that what we can say, that the stresses or some forces exerted on the connecting rod, that connecting rod may fail during the working. That's why in order to prevent the failure of that component, we will have to relieve the internal stresses developed in the particular component. Okay, and for relieving that stresses we will have to perform the heat treatment process. Is it? And second part is that in order to increase or in order to obtain the desirable properties. Now what are the different desirable properties? In order to increase the machinability, improve the ductility and homogeneous structure. Now we know that for the different working processes, we know that the different properties must be possessed by the component, or different properties must be possessed by the metals or alloy. Okay, so whatever the properties are desired for actual working process, that properties will be developed by performing the heat treatment process. That's why we will have to obtain the desirable condition as well as some desirable properties. Understood? What is the definition of the heat treatment process? That heat treatment, see here again, an operation or a combination of operations which involve heating and cooling of a metal or alloy in a solid state to obtain the desirable condition and or to obtain the desirable properties. This is the basic and complete definition of the heat treatment process. Now whenever you will ask in the exam what is heat treatment process, you can explain in this way also. Okay, so understood. Next we will have to study the different purposes of the heat treatment process. What are the different purposes of a heat treatment process, or what we can say that objectives of the heat treatment process. Now in objectives we will understood one by one. Now heat treatment process carried out in order to what cause relief of internal stresses developed during cold working, welding, casting and forging. Now we know that, or we have already studied in MP1, as I have already told you. In MP1 we have studied that manufacturing process 1, cold working process, hot working process, welding, casting, forging. These are the different processes we have studied for the manufacturing of the different component. Now during that manufacturing process there are some internal stresses developed in that component. Okay, in order to relieve that stresses, means the basic objective is that relieve the stresses developed in the component because of the different metal forming as well as different manufacturing processes. This is the first objective, what? To relieve the stresses. Then second objective is that harden and strengthen the metal. Is it? Means what will happen, for the working condition or for operating condition, that component must possess certain hardness as well as the strength. Okay, so that's why second objective is that increase the hardness as well as strength of the metal. Then third objective is what? The third objective is that the increase the machinability. Now machinability means what? The ease with which the material will be removed from the machining, removed from the component. Okay, that machining is performed for finishing of the component, as well as obtaining the certain different shape and size component. We perform the machining. Okay, so for that purpose the machining will be easy, or easiness of the machining we must obtain the certain machinability or good machinability property in that component. That's why we have to perform the heat treatment process. Then fourth objective is that change the grain size. Means in heat treatment process we heat the component up to certain temperature, maintain that temperature for a certain period of time, and cool to room temperature by using the different medium or different cooling medium. During that process the grain size will changes in case of the that raw material, or in case of that finished component. Okay, so that grain size must be changed, or to change the grain size, or after changing the grain size different properties will be obtained. Okay, then fifth objective is that soften metal for further working, as in wire drawing or cold working. We know that the ductility property is there. The presence of ductility will contribute to forming the wire drawing process as well as the cold working process. Means what? There must be increases the ductility of the material. Then improve the toughness. Means in order to increase the toughness we must need the it will be a good toughness property must be obtained in case of the heat treatment process. Now increases the heat, wear and corrosion resistance of the material. Now we know that the different materials are used in the marine water as well as the salt water, we can say that. So in that case the corrosion resistance property must be there in order to prevent that component from wear out or corroded. Okay, that's why by performing the heat treatment process we can serve the objective of increasing the heat resistance, wear resistance and corrosion resistance of the material. Then next property, improve the electrical and mechanical properties. Okay, so electrical property must be there, electrical property must be increases by heat treatment process. That is the another objective. Then last objective is that spheroidize the tiny particle, that whatever the tiny particles or new grain produced in case of the material, that must be a spherical shape or spheroidized, such as those of Fe3C, Fe carbide or iron carbide in steel by diffusion process. Okay, so these are the different objectives to perform the heat treatment process on the steel. Okay, understood? Then next we will have to study the what we can say that the principle, means by which principle we can perform the heat treatment, or what principle we will apply to perform the heat treatment process. Okay, so heat treatment of steel possible by eutectoid reaction in epicarbon system. Now we studied the iron carbon equilibrium diagram. In iron carbon equilibrium diagram we know that at 727 degrees Celsius the eutectoid reaction occur, at 1147 degrees Celsius the eutectic reaction occur, and at 1492 degrees Celsius what, that is peridictic reaction occur. But whatever the reactions occur above near about 910 degrees Celsius, that will not be possible because of the higher temperature, and there may be there may be a possibility of transforming that solid phase of steel into a liquid phase. Okay, so in the definition itself it is suggested that whatever the heat treatment perform on the solid phase only. That's why we will perform, or we will study the heat treatment process at eutectoid temperature, that is eutectoid steel, or we can say that at 727 degree Celsius. Around that 27 degrees Celsius we will study all the heat treatment processes. Okay, all basic heat treatment processes of steel involve the transformation or decomposition of austenite. Means while studying the different heat treatment process, only there will be a transformation of austenite from one phase to other, and then the possibility of relieving the internal stresses, increasing the mechanical as well as electrical property will be possible. Then will develop a variety of useful physical, that we have already explained, I already explained, that is by the transformation of the austenite or decomposition of austenite, what will happen, the useful physical and mechanical property in the steel will increases. Okay, so in which way we will do the or heat treatment process, the cooling rate play an important. Okay, whatever the heat treatment process we will perform, uh, for a minute we just understood, means in heat treatment process, suppose we have to increase the, means we have to perform the heat treatment process on the any steel component. What we will do, we will heat that steel component in the furnace. After obtaining the certain temperature, suppose will consider the what we can say, that 810 degrees Celsius. That 810 degrees Celsius is maintained for a certain period of time. Now certain period of time means what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, after that completion of 10 minutes, maintaining that steel component at 810 degrees Celsius, we will slowly cool, we will rapidly cool that steel component to a room temperature by using the different medium. Now different medium means what, we will cool that specimen into steel air or natural air. We will cool that specimen by using water, by using oil, or by using salt bath, molten salt bath. Okay, so depending upon the cooling rate, as well as depending upon the cooling medium, the different phases occur in case of the steel component. Okay, so that is very important to which cooling medium or what cooling method we are using. Okay, on that basis the different properties are dependent. Okay, so cooling rate, that's why it is mentioned that the cooling rate, that cooling rate is play an important role in the transformation of austenite to pearlite or transformation of austenite to martensite. Is it? In the principle, an alloy experiences change in the structure when heated above a certain temperature, and it undergo a change इन द स्ट्रक्चर वेन कूल टू रूम टेम्परेचर. मीन्स स्टीलमध्ये किंवा त्या कंपोनंटमध्ये काय होते, दोन्ही वेळेस काय होते, काही स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस एक्सपिरियन्स होतात किंवा निदर्शनात येतात किंवा ऑब्झर्व होतात while heating as well as while cooling. Okay, and whatever the changes occur in case of the heating as well as cooling, that will be studied. Okay, then cooling rate is an important factor in developing the different structure. जो काही कूलिंग रेट आहे तो काय डिफरंट स्ट्रक्चरमध्ये जे काही आपण कूलिंग रेट परफॉर्म करतो, दॅट विल बी प्ले अन इम्पॉर्टंट रोल इन द डिफरंट स्ट्रक्चर. तर स्लो कूलिंग अबाव द क्रिटिकल टेम्परेचर, आपण स्लोली जर कूल केलं above critical temperature, then we will obtain the soft perlite phase or perlite structure. आणि जर रॅपिड कूलिंग केलं आपण तर we will get the hard martensite structure. मीन्स डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दी कूलिंग रेट, रॅपिड कूलिंग केलं तर काय मिळेल, हार्ड मार्टेनसाइट मिळेल, आणि स्लो कूलिंग केलं तर काय मिळेल, सॉफ्ट परलाइट मिळेल. मीन्स डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हॉट टाईप ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर वी वॉन्ट, ऑन दॅट बेसिस वी विल सिलेक्ट दी पर्टिक्युलर कूलिंग मीडियम as well as cooling method. Understood? So this is nothing but the principle of the heat treatment process. Is it? Next we will have to study the classification of the heat treatment process. Now in heat treatment process, in classification of heat treatment process, we can observe here, first heat treatment is aniline process. That aniline is classified into 4 types, that is stress relief aniline, process aniline, spheroidizing aniline, then full aniline. These are the 4 types of the aniline process. Then second is a normalizing process, third hardening, it is also known as a quenching process, fourth tempering, fifth mar tempering, sixth os tempering, and seventh maraging. Okay, so these are the different heat treatment process we will have to study in this unit. So there is one diagram which can give you a brief introduction of that complete heat treatment process. Now it is the same diagram that we have studied in case of the iron carbon equilibrium diagram, but here we can observe only up to 723 degrees Celsius. Here we can observe 723 degree Celsius. On x-axis there is a percentage of carbon, on y-axis there is a temperature. In scale we can observe from 0 degrees Celsius up to 2% carbon, and here the heat treatment process for a alloy steel. Here we can observe from 0 to 0.8, this is a hypoeutectoid steel, and from 0.8 to 2% carbon, here we can observe the hypereutectoid steel. And which is the eutectoid point? This is the eutectoid point. Here we can observe the austenite, here alpha ferrite, and on this side here we can observe the cementite. Okay, now whatever the austenite will transform to perlite, that is perlite plus cementite, and here alpha ferrite plus cementite, that is perlite. Is it? That's why ferrite plus perlite. Is it? And whatever the different hatching lines, some dotted lines, some horizontal lines, some vertical lines are shown over in this diagram at a different sections that represent the different cooling zone. Here we can study that lower temperature tempering, high temperature tempering. First process, that is aniline. Aniline, here we can see normalizing. This is some hairy structure, that is normalizing. Hardening, upper critical temperature, just above the upper critical temperature there is a hardening process. Then process aniline. Okay, so these are the different sections we can observe here. This is this periodizing. Okay, this is the aniline process. Here some hairy structure, that is normalizing process. Means here the brief introduction of all the heat treatment processes will be represented on that ion carbon equilibrium diagram. Now few heat treatment process perform on the above the lower critical temperature, few heat treatment process perform on the above the lower critical temperature, few process are performed on the above upper critical temperature. Okay, so just a difference of 727 and above, that is 30 to 50 degrees Celsius, then 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, means more and more there will be 910 degrees Celsius, 950 degrees Celsius. At that temperature only the all the heat treatment processes are performed. So depending on that we can separately study each and every process one by one, as well as for hypoeutectoid steel and hypereutectoid steel. Is it? So the question may be asked separately, what is heat treatment process, and give the heat treatment of full aniline process. Okay, or the question may be asked, explain all the heat treatment or any two aniline heat treatment process. Okay, so in that case we will have to just draw the simple diagram of this heat treatment process and explain the heat treatment by using that complete process. Okay, so in heat treatment, again I want to say that suppose we are performing the heat treatment on the certain component or any component of a mild steel. In that case what we will do, we will heat that component in the furnace. Depending upon the size and shape of the component, for what time that temperature must be maintained or constant temperature must be maintained, that will be depend. After completion of that certain period of time, we will have to cool that specimen or steel to room temperature by using the different medium. That different medium means what? It may be a water, it may be a oil, it may be a salt, molten salt bath, or it may be in the steel air. Depending upon the desired properties of that component, we will use a particular cooling process or cooling medium. Is it? And suppose as soon as the size of the specimen or size of the component will increases, the constant temperature, means maintaining the temperature for a certain constant period of time, that will be also increases. Means depending upon the size and shape of the component, we will have to maintain that temperature for a period of time. Is it? Means what? Why we are maintaining that certain period of time for that particular shape and size, or on that basis of particular shape and size? That is depending upon that particular time. Means throughout the austenitic transformation will take place, means on the internal section of the specimen also. means until and unless there will be complete transformation will not takes place, the effect of heat treatment will not be occur in the thoroughly or through sections of the that specimen or that component. That's why we are performing the or maintaining that period of time for a